The Philadelphia Eagles have not looked impressive this season. They have not looked like the team that I thought they would look like this season, and I'm sure a lot of people would feel that way. They have not looked like the team that destroyed the Kansas City Chiefs this past Super Bowl or in the NFC Championship game this past season against the Washington Commanders. Jalen Hurts, he has looked bad at times. He has looked decent at times. I don't think he has had a great game this season. He holds onto the football too long. I think he wants to, which leads to sacks. I think he wants to play it safe, check it down to Dallas Goedert, hit A.J. Brown on slant, and I think he's afraid to take chances. Now, I'll give him this, though. When the time comes for him to make plays, he's shown that he can make those plays when it matters. But if they are going to go back-to-back as champions, he's going to have to play better. He's going to have to take chances. He's going to have to not hold on to the football too long. And there are times this season where he'll be faced with some pressure, step up in the pocket, try to deliver a pass on time, accurate, and take the hit. He'll look like he's afraid to get hit, which causes an inaccurate throw, which will lead to an incompletion, a turnover. So he's going to have to be Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurts. And the coaching staff is going to have to help him out a little bit. They're going to have to run plays that utilizes his running ability. So run some RPOs, run some quarterback draws. When the opponent least expects it, go 5 wide and it's 3rd and 6, go 5 wide. And then you'll have the defense in a passing defense, so no one's going to be expecting the run. So surprise them with a quarterback draw. Saquon Barkley is not having the year that he had last year, and part of that is due to A.J. Brown's bitch moaning and complaining. I talked about this earlier in the season. I think that part of the reason why that he has not gotten the ball so much is because A.J. Brown complains to the media and he sends out tweets. And I think that Philly listens to the media, and then you'll see Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown having this forced chemistry with each other. Jalen Hurts is trying to force the ball to him, and Jalen doesn't even look his way a lot of the times. I think his guy is Devontae Smith, all right? And if you ask me, I think that if A.J. Brown leaves, they won't lose anything, all right? I think Devontae Smith has proven that he can be a number 1 wide receiver for Philly. So I think Devontae Smith is Jalen Hurts' guy. So is there a beef between AJ and Jalen? I don't know. But lately, though, Saquon Barkley has gotten the ball. I will say that. And he's going to have to get the ball in the postseason. And if that pisses off AJ Brown, then so be it. Do you want to be a champion, or do you want to be a stat patter? They have had games in the second half they have looked bad offensively. This past Sunday against Buffalo, they did not score a single point. So Philly has a new offensive coordinator, Kevin Patullo. This is his first year as the offensive coordinator with the Eagles, and he does not draw up any creative plays. He doesn't really scheme guys open. And Philadelphia's wide receivers do struggle at winning one-on-one in man coverage. So, and defensively, they'll give up some big plays as well, but they can hold their own. They have kept Philly in a few games this season. I'll say the only thing that really would bother me about Philly's defense is their run defense. They have been punched in the mouth quite a bit on the ground, and it is shocking to see that still. But with all this being said, I still think that Philadelphia can turn it on and become that team that won last year's Super Bowl. I still think you can't really rule them out, so I got Philly on my list of teams who has a chance to make it to the Super Bowl. Okay, next up, Seattle. The Seattle Seahawks are a team that I don't think a lot of people are talking about. Sam Darnold is having another good season. Minnesota, you fucked up. And they have a chance to be the number 1 seed in the NFC. The road to the Super Bowl could go through Seattle, which I think will be a big advantage for the Seahawks. But yes, Sam Darnold is having another good season. They've had games where their offense can look stagnant in the first half, but then in the second half they make the adjustments and they're able to put up points on the board. I would like them to play some more power football, go inside the tackles, use a guy like Zach Charbonnet, who's a power back, go inside, try to establish some dominance at the line of scrimmage using the running game rather than run outside. Use Zach Charbonnet, use Kenneth Walker, go inside, try to play some power football. Defensively, they have some young talent. Their safety, Nick Emenwari, he's a good player. They like to put him in the box close to the line of scrimmage and disrupt the running attack of opposing offenses, apply pressure to the quarterback. And bringing in Leonard Williams, I think, has helped a lot with their pass rush as well. He seems to have finally found a home in Seattle, and it's nice to be on a team that has a chance of winning a lot of football games. So that's why it feels like when I watch him, he feels so at home and so comfortable. They got a young corner in Josh Jobe. He's turned out to be a fine player. Now the thing with Seattle, I think a lot of people are going to question is, can Sam Darnold have great performances in the playoffs? Can he make plays when it matters most? Can he not put his team in jeopardy of losing the game? He's had games to where he'll turn the ball over. I think he has 13 interceptions on the year so far, and he threw 4 the first time they played Los Angeles. If he doesn't play well, you know that people are going to shit on him again and trash him. It's like they are just looking forward to that. So Seattle is number 2 on my list. Number 3, do I dare put the San Francisco 49ers on this list? Yeah, why not? They have a chance to be the number 1 seed as well. The San Francisco 49ers, a team that has lost quite a bit of players due to injury, and they lost some players in free agency, losing Deebo Samuel, losing Hufanga, the Troy Polamalu 2.0 prototype. It's funny, when I first watched him play, I was telling myself, he reminds me of Troy Polamalu, and the hair plays a factor in that. And then one game, a commentator mentioned that Troy Polamalu helped train him, so I guess that makes sense. But anyway, this 49ers team, losing Nick Bosa, losing Fred Warner, losing Kittle at times, Pearsall, who looks like he could be a good quality wide receiver in this offense. He could be a guy for Brock Purdy to develop a chemistry with. He looks like he's capable of winning one-on-one against man coverage. But at times this season, it looks like this team didn't lose anybody. Watching them, they're 12-4, and you got to give credit to the coaching staff. They have leaned on Christian McCaffrey this season, and not only that, not having Brock Purdy at times as well, so Mac Jones filling in, they were still able to win games. Now, I still don't think Brock Purdy is the guy. I'm not sold on Brock Purdy, but he has been to a Super Bowl, okay? I think that if San Francisco is going to get back to the Super Bowl, and if Kyle Shanahan is finally going to win one, Christian McCaffrey is going to have to be the workhorse for the offense, okay? Especially if you don't have Kittle in the lineup. Defensively, yes, they've been able to get by, but they've had games to where they've given up a lot of points, like this past Sunday. So the coaching staff is going to have to create some kind of defensive game plan to where they'll be able to stifle offenses and give their team a chance. And I think that if they are able to become the number 1 seed and have home field advantage throughout the playoffs, I think that's going to really give them an advantage, because I don't know if they can go on the road to Los Angeles or to Philly and win on the road. I think that having home field advantage will be a huge asset for them as they try to make it back to the Super Bowl. So the Niners, 3rd team on this list. And last but not least, the Los Angeles Rams. The Los Angeles Rams, it feels like they're kind of in the same position they were when Tom Brady and the Buccaneers were doing their thing. At the time, the Buccaneers were the best team in the NFL, if not the NFC, and I felt that the only team that could stop them was the Rams. This season, the only team that can stop the Eagles are the Rams, although the Eagles are not really playing as great this season. They're definitely not in the same league as that Buccaneers team, but like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I think Philly can definitely turn it on and become the shit-kicking team that I thought that they would be this season. So the Rams, Matthew Stafford, yes, they took another bad loss this season to the Falcons this past Monday. They've had a couple bad losses to the Falcons, to the Panthers, but I think that they are still Super Bowl contenders. Matthew Stafford, you can make a case for him being the MVP. The Rams like to use a lot of motion, and it confuses defenses. It creates some one-on-one matchups that favors them, like a running back on a linebacker. They like to use motion and go to the side where the guy running in motion is going to. They like to use Puka Nacua, have him go in motion, and he'll run through the line of scrimmage and he'll end up getting lost in coverage. And Puka Nacua is probably the best wide receiver in the league right now. And I meant to mention this about Seattle. I think Jackson Smith and Jigba, whatever the fuck his name is probably the second best receiver in the league right now. But yes, that's what makes this Rams offense so tough to defend. They use a lot of motion, and they can hurt you in many different ways. Okay, they can do it all. They can run the ball. They utilize play action, bootlegs. On play action, guys will go in motion, having the defense think that they're going to go one side, overload on one side, and then next thing you know, it's a bootleg play action going to the opposite side of the field, and then a tight end or wide receiver is running free. And defensively, they have a legitimate pass rush. They can get to the quarterback with just rushing 4 guys. Nate Landman, he's been a very good piece for them in the linebacking core. Emmanuel Forbes, he's turning into a good cornerback for them. He's shown that he can identify certain routes, make a break on the ball, and knock the ball out of a wide receiver's hands. So I like the Rams. I think that they are the favorite coming out of the NFC. I think whoever comes out of the NFC, in my opinion, will probably be the champions, because I think the AFC is kind of weak. Those are my picks. So those are the teams that I think have a chance of making it to the Super Bowl. Tell me who you guys think has a chance. Please like and subscribe. That is it. I am out.